Dear guests, partners, developers, and friends of the media from all over the world, welcome to the Confronting New Reality, Building Next Normal HTC VIVE VR Industry Conference. My name is Christy Sun from HTC China team, and I will be your MC today. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us for this special event. I know many people are attending at very early or late hours in your time zones. We will do our best to make sure it worth your extra effort. The layout of virtual reality technology has expanded human perception and changed the industry and service models. Especially in 2020, virtual reality technology is benefiting global production and daily life to proceed normally. On March 19th, HTC VIVE held the world's first truly virtual conference. And 3 months later, on June 16th, we held the hybrid launching event of XR Suite in Shanghai and virtually on VIVE sessions. Through this attempt, we firmly believe that the post-normal is moving towards us step by step, with real, open, simple, and powerful ways of working, studying, and socializing. Post-normal life will be more efficient and beautiful. Today, HTC VIVE is excited to bring HTC VIVE XR Suite in this virtual conference. I hereby announce the start of Confronting New Reality, Building Next Normal HTC VIVE VR Industry Conference. And now, it is my great honor to welcome HTC's founder and chairwoman, Shi Wang, to give us a welcome speech.
Welcome, partners and friends. At HTC, we have always been about bringing people together. 23 years ago, we started creating smartphones so that we could stay in touch with our loved ones while on the go. Now we are creating VIVE to connect people in new ways. Today's event builds on our goal of connecting people. I'm delighted to announce that our fully integrated portfolio of VR software, the XR Suite, is now available. Whether for business, education, or pleasure, the XR Suite applications are designed to build bridges between people, bridges of communication, and bridges of learning. HTC's vision of VIVE reality is the merging of technology with our humanity to unleash our imagination. XR Suite helps to drive that vision by providing new ways to meet, collaborate, socialize, and learn new things in an enterprise, school, or museum environment. Using these products, people can enter just about any imaginable thing with their computers, tablets, and mobile phones, as well as their VR devices, and interact with each other in a much more natural and effective way. By bringing together people from around the world, we can better understand our colleagues, industry peers, and friends, and better appreciate our innovation, our creativity, and humanity. We strive every day to play a more significant role in our journey in VR. We hope you will continue to travel hand in hand with us on this exciting journey to make our world a better place. VIVE hardware is the best in the world. Now we have professional applications to make the most of it. And this is just the beginning. We will continue to expand the suite as we discover new uses for VR and solve new challenges in the next normal life. I see a world where VR and AR are ubiquitous, as natural to us as using our phone is today, where the hardware fades into the background and experiences come to the forefront. Applications like XR Suite bring us a step closer to this future. For me, this is the most exciting time to be in the industry. HTC firmly believes in the power of VR to improve the world, and together we will keep building the ecosystem to realize the VIVE reality. Thank you very much for joining us today, and see you in the virtual world.
Thank you, Cher, for your inspiring words. Now, I'd like to welcome HTC China President Alvin Wang Grayling, VP of HTC Innovation and Creative Labs Drew Bamford, General Manager of HTC EMEA Graham Wheeler, and 5 CEOs of the 5 applications to release the HTC VIVE XR Suite.
Hey guys, welcome back to another virtual event in VIVE Sessions. This is our 3rd major corporate event this year, and it's just getting bigger and better every time. As you can see, this venue was specially designed for today's event, and I hope you really enjoy it and get a chance to walk around, look around, and do some socializing with the rest of the folks that are here. Thank you very much, Cher, for that inspiring welcome and opening. We definitely are very excited about what's happening with XR Suite, with software, with all the technology that VIVE and HTC is putting out to try to make our lives a little bit easier, a little bit better during this pandemic. As this picture shows, we are really going into a future with multiple paths. And we really don't know which way we're going to go yet. I think I'm very optimistic. I think the technology is actually going to help us solve a lot of our current day's problems. And I think the product that we're going to release today will also make that a little bit more bearable and hopefully make everybody more productive during this post-COVID era. As you can see, many lives, billions of lives have been impacted during this very strange and challenging year. Billion kids that are studying from home. We have billions of workers who are working from home and trying to balance their home and work life at the same time. All the events and entertainment and all the sporting events, all the conferences have essentially been canceled around the world. It's turning upside down how we used to live. In the days in 2019 and before, we really had once in a while, we would have a black swan event, right? Something that would be seen as very, very unusual. What we're finding is that 2020 is essentially every week there's a black swan event. We are having pandemics and fires, and we are having also positive things as well. Things like rockets, reusable rockets are taking off, and electric vehicles that are really getting more popular, and video conferencing that took a long time to get popular, that all of a sudden is becoming everyone's interaction models. Personally, I've also been very affected by this pandemic. I have 2 daughters, and I have had to spend the last 10 months away from them. And we had made a promise to each other we would always be together during our birthdays. And in fact, my younger daughter has the exact same birthday I do. So it's one of the best birthday presents I can imagine. But, this year, we use technology to overcome this challenge. In fact, for both my daughter's birthday, I was able to teleport into a virtual version of our home and continue to have that tradition that I used to have with them, having cakes and having video shows, and we even had fireworks and balloons and all kinds of things that we normally do in real life. And, that actually makes it's amazing how this little difference of being in a shared space versus just seeing somebody in a video or seeing somebody on a photo is so different, and really feels like we are together. And I got a note from my daughters after their birthday, and they both thanked me for taking the time to be with them, and really felt like they felt like I was there, even though I wasn't. So to give everybody a little bit bigger view, some more numbers around some of the things that are happening, we invited our general manager of the EMEA region to come in and share some insights for us. So welcome, Graham Wheeler from the European region.
Thank you, Alvin, for that introduction. As Alvin said, my name is Graham Wheeler. I'm the General Manager of EMEA. That's Europe, Middle East and Africa. And I've been working in HTC for over 15 years, and I've seen firsthand how technology has the power to change lives. And in 2020, it's been key to keeping the global economy going. I'm very privileged to be able to talk to you from London here in this conference in China, and I really do appreciate the time you're giving me. The aim that I want to do is go through some of the data that we collected in the build up to this service. Our first bit of information comes from the China team, where they surveyed over 4,000 people and asked a simple question: have they used VR more since the pandemic? And as you can see from the pie chart, it's an overwhelming yes, with 64% of people saying yes, they've used VR more. But what is surprising, if we dig into that data a little bit more, is the usage in VR. As you would expect, playing games and watching videos in VR are the top usage. However, what was surprising to us was that the increase in learning and fitness in VR, these being the third and fourth most used services in VR. These are a significant jump from when we last surveyed, and it's almost doubling the usage in those areas. So it's showing that people are using VR in much different ways since this pandemic. Now let's look at some European data. The pandemic has accelerated a trend towards remote working. In 2008, 7% of the European workforce either work from home or remotely, and that grew to 10% in 2018. Obviously, in 2020, that has skyrocketed, with many major organisations now telling their employees they no longer need to be 100% office-based, helping those organisations to reduce OPEX. But that's a big challenge for the employee. Balancing working from home, but maintaining focus, productivity, and the work culture that keeps them happy is something that is very difficult to do. And in a recent survey, where David will tell you more later, over 40% of employees felt they were missing something by only doing voice and video calls. And for the company, creativity is lost. That moment where two people meet and have an idea that changes a company is now very tricky. Therefore, we need to find a solution for this. Now, if we look at some European travel data, before the pandemic, it was very normal for regular travel between countries for employees, whether for meetings, events or conferences. And I myself am based in London, and I would regularly travel for my job. For example, if I had a customer meeting in Paris, France, I could hop on a train, travel 2 hours, do that customer meeting, and then return home later that day and sleep in my bed that night. But as the virus has progressed differently across Europe and different rates, that has changed the way we travel. If I compare this year's travel data to last year's, obviously during the pandemic in March and June, that resulted in near 100% reduction in flights compared to last year. Even if we look today, we're over 40% down if we compare flights to this time last year. And that's mainly down to a 14-day quarantine that most countries have introduced when people return from other countries. And so that means that travel has to be very carefully considered, and it really has impacted people's lives. Every company and industry have had to turn to different ways to reach people. For example, we've worked closely with the creative industries, many needing to replace physical events this year. Examples of this include working with the Museum of Other Reality, where they hosted an incredibly immersive fashion show, The Fabric of Reality, and that was in partnership with Verizon Media and the fashion innovation industry. And the Venice Film Festival had 3 legends on the VR judging panel: Celine Trekar, Azif Kapadia and Hideo Kojima. That event had over 1,000 attendees viewing. And we just announced a new exhibition with the prestigious museum in London, the Victoria and Albert Museum, supporting the Alice in Wonderland experience, which has to be seen to be believed. This shows VR is supporting behaviour changes and different ways of working, really allowing people to unleash their human imagination from the limitations of reality. The XR Suite is the next workplace evolution, enabling what's next. I'm really looking forward to people all over the world getting a chance to experience it. And I'll hand back now to Alvin to carry on the presentation.
Well, thanks, Graham, for coming in and sharing some thoughts with us. I think there's definitely a lot of things that are going on in the world that are also positive. If you look at this photo, this picture, it's showing something that is leading to something in the future. A light at the end of the tunnel, and I think we're actually getting there. This has been a difficult year, but it's going to get better. One of the questions I actually get asked a lot is, when is adoption going to become ubiquitous for XR, for VR? It is a technology that's been around for a long time, but I think I wanted to share a little video with you from 1997 to give you some thoughts on this.
Your computer's ringing.
It's my video phone.
Video phone?
With Intel video phone technology, talking face-to-face on your PC is easy.
Hi, Bob. Lisa, my brother Jim. Jim, my date, Lisa. Hi.
Hi.
Oops. Jim.
So I actually worked at Intel during this time when they released this advertising. And I remember thinking, hey, video conferencing is going to be everywhere, and it's going to be something that is, revolutionary, and we're going to replace a lot of work, a lot of the ways that we communicate. And the reality is that, it really has been relatively just a fringe technology up to this year, right? So, I think we really need to look at and have the optimism that if you have the right technology, when the market really demands it, it will change overnight. Because now if you look, essentially everybody in the world is using video conferencing technology. And if you look at what was shown, 23, 24 years ago, it's not very different than what is there today. So this new normal that we are experiencing every day really just felt like it happened overnight, but really it's taken a couple of decades for that to happen. I think VR is definitely in a much more optimistic position than video conferencing was 20, 25 years ago, because really the demand for what video conferencing is trying to help alleviate with all the social distancing that's out there is the same thing that VR and XR can do.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Are we waiting on anyone?
But video conferencing has its challenges.
There we go. Welcome to my kitchen. Look at your little cat. His wife's also working from home, so he's just hopping into their closet. Oh, sorry. I think you're muted. I think you're on mute. I think you're muted. You're on mute. Your backyard is gorgeous. Yeah, I should get a dog. You look so nice. Why? What was that? What was that? What was that? My internet is being so weird today. Standing desk, Dropbox, screen share, soft pants, ergonomic, active sitting, Google Sheets. It's actually designed to wobble like this. Look at this view. Keeps me moving. I can hear literally every single word my neighbor says. Oh, lost you for a sec. Let me just slack you a paper doc. Gotta stay hydrated. Definitely. 100%. That's the only way we're gonna drive cross-functional alignment, Oh, we got a visitor. What was that? It works. And now I'm talking.
All right. So the idea is that, video conferencing is great, but it's not the solution. It's not the end solution, right? And it's not as pretty as everybody shows in those marketing photos. A lot of times, people are turning their videos off. The color's not right. It's very tiring. People are talking about Zoom fatigue, and it is a real thing. So what is better? What is the next thing? Right. I think that's what we want to talk about. And the next normal that we see is really all about spatial. It's about how do we let people still communicate without being together and still be able to collaborate without being together, but feel like they're in the same shared space, right? We as human beings have grown up since our childhood to want to be in a spatial environment, to be able to interact with everything that is around us. And, video is not enough for us to do that. In fact, we did a survey of over 3,000 users recently, and only 19% of these people said that they were happy with the existing video conferencing solutions to solve their current needs. That's a lot of potential. I think that means that there is a lot of room for us to use alternative technologies to solve these problems. In fact, here are pictures that are real pictures of my team over the last month in terms of our meetings with each other. I have our team use virtual reality software, collaboration software for our regular meetings, for the way that we interact with each other. And by using it, we better understand it, and we know how to better service our customers. And whether doing large events or having a persistent office or doing discussions about products and future plans, we can do all of that in VR. Now, a lot of times, people are still discussing now, how productive are you? Can you be as productive, with these new medium, with these new technology, as you are face to face? So we actually went and we worked with the Xingzuo lab in Beijing to do a study and of comparing audio-based collaboration, video-based collaboration, video in two locations collaborating with each other, as well as spatial collaboration and fully face-to-face collaboration. So, I wanted people to think at home, which one of these do you think is the most productive and which one is the least productive? So I think most people would have guessed that face-to-face is definitely the most productive because it is the most natural way for us to interact. And in terms of how long it took these users to complete tasks, it was a little, about 4.7 minutes to complete the assigned task. And the least productive was audio, so using voice-based communication to try to solve problems. Now, what was very interesting and fairly, I guess, predictable was that using spatial collaboration actually was almost as productive as face-to-face. So I think that's something that we should pat ourselves on the back. I think that offers a real opportunity for the XR industry to help maintain productivity for our customers while being apart physically. Video, and one thing that was actually counterintuitive for me was the two offices of people together, but then working face to face, working through video to communicate. They were actually the second least productive way of working, and I think that actually, at least in our offices, is probably the most common way of working right now, where we can't travel between offices very easily. So we use video conferencing between offices. And what we found is that it was because the two offices actually felt like they were us and them. The people in the two offices didn't want to agree with the people in the other office because they felt like they weren't part of the same team. Whereas when they're in one spatial area, everybody feels like they're all one group. And I think that's something that is hugely beneficial from a psychological perspective. In fact, one thing that was very interesting in terms of the finding was that the flow and engagement value of spatial was actually even higher than face-to-face, because in those environments, people felt more free to talk and more free to express themselves because there wasn't the same status or hierarchy level that you expect or that you see normally in a face-to-face environment. So, all of us are trying to deal with this new reality where we're working from home and with our dogs and with our kids and from the coffee tables. Working from home, I think, is almost a misnomer, because I think right now we have the opportunity to work from anywhere, right? Essentially, if you have a computer, if you have a VR device, if you have a laptop, you can go anywhere and you can be productive. I think that actually is something that is fairly empowering for particularly knowledge-based workers around the world. It used to be something that is a very fringe activity for special folks that really wanted to travel more and use that as a reason or a way to work. But now I think it's possible for it to be everywhere. In fact, people have been talking about work-life balance for a long time. I think what's more important is really about work-life satisfaction. And, by having your ability to work for, whatever company you want around the world, because now you can be anywhere to work for anyone, it actually increases your satisfaction. And it also gives you the ability to maybe live in a place that is less costly and be able to take that same income and then have a better life, right? So all of these things could be a side benefit of the activities or the challenges that are happening to us globally. In terms of satisfaction, we actually went back and did a study to find out, how satisfied are people in terms of using XR versus video versus audio as working models for their daily work. And we had 3 groups of people working for a full week, and we found that the satisfaction levels of the XR group was about 25% higher than the one that was using audio only as their collaboration model. And in fact, their sense of belonging was also higher. So really people felt like they were part of the same community, the same team. I think that's something that really has very, very high value that anybody in the HR industry would really understand and appreciate. In fact, we went back and looked at some of these non-productivity related scores, things like self-worth and the efficiency of communication, enthusiasm for work. All of the numbers for the XR group was just really super high. And I think that the way if you can use XR to enhance job satisfaction and job engagement, that is something that I think is a real gift for the working community out there. Now, in addition to just the whole remote work and work from home thing, students really are being forced to learn in a different way, and maybe probably a very less efficient way. Kids really need that full body stimulation and the community effect of other students connecting with them to really learn. And right now, being forced to be a part and using video only discussions really limits that. It'd be so much better if we can allow kids to have, a full body learning, allowing them to hear and see and play and interact with these topics, and being able to have, one-to-one guided communication and guided teaching from their teachers. So right now, there's already pilots that are being done in China. We're very fortunate here that the pandemic's been generally in control, and students are now back, have been back in the classroom for some time, and they're using our 5G devices, our head-mounted displays, to communicate across different classrooms, so that some of the poorest districts students can get access to the best teachers in Beijing or Shanghai, and to be able to provide a higher level of education for kids around the country by applying technology. Now, it's not always just, learning and working. We really need to also think about relaxation and entertainment a little bit as well. I think over the last several months, entertainment has really been mostly narrowed in the video space. There definitely has been some progression in terms of getting some of these virtual concerts where multiple folks, in Travis Scott and John Legend and you got Katy Perry, etc., are all doing virtual concerts. So I think that's amazing, and they're doing it in 3D space, even though users are still not able to fully go in there in VR. But that content is there, and I think it's a real good beginning. What we're also finding is that now you have other fully VR interactions, like Jean-Michel Jarre. He did a fully in VR concert. In our VIVE campus product, there is also a multi-stage VR concert. We've worked with the Cannes Film Festival and had 50 plus movies and interactions, and that was in the VIVE Museum product, as well as we've been holding multiple conferences in our VIVE Sessions platform. So this is the way of interacting. This is the way of letting people go beyond a 2D screen in terms of their entertainment, in terms of their life. In fact, when we asked users, would you be willing to participate in a virtual event or activity, 95% of them said yes. So, that's an overwhelmingly high number of people who are really tired of what they have today and what they're seeing today. And what do they want to do? They want to see virtual concerts and virtual cinemas and online teaching and virtual shopping and meeting their friends and online exhibitions and museums and social parties, etc. So really, it's the things that we do on a daily basis, our daily lives. They want to be able to do that, in the VR, in a virtual environment, so that they feel like they've experienced something, so that they can create memories that can last a lifetime. If you look, really the things that I think will change this industry, the things that will get people to use it every day, are the things that we do every day, right? So if we really want to achieve extraordinary things with virtual reality, with XR, we really need to enable the ordinary things to be easier and better. The ordinary things that we already do every day, whether it's calling our friends, or whether it's interacting with our colleagues or our classmates, or going to events, watching movies. We need all of the things that we already do on a daily basis as part of our natural lives to be enabled in a more smoother, easier, more secure, more stable way. So I've got some good news for you. So this is our new product. And, I'd like to welcome you to take a look at this new video that we have.
We used to look forward to the new. But these days, new is getting a little tiring. What's next? It's time to go beyond the 2D screen and leverage the productivity benefits of being together in a shared 3D space. You don't have to wait for what's next, thanks to the VIVE XR Suite. One account now gives you access to next-gen meetings, next-level conferences, next-grade classrooms, next dimension of culture, and of course, next epic experiences. And the best part is, it all works on your existing PCs, phones, tablets, and most VR devices on the market. It's time to engage all our senses. VIVE XR Suite, enabling what's next.
Well, take a look at this. Check out all these pods. So this is the kind of experience that you cannot have in anywhere else except for VR. And some good news for you. All of you guys are welcome to actually go inside these pods at the end of this event and be able to discover more information about each of the apps that are represented by the pods. So keep your schedule open to make sure you spend a little bit of time looking at that. That is definitely worth your while. So now let's get into the product itself. So what did we change? How did we improve this suite over the last 4 or 5 months after we told you we're going to do this? Essentially, now we have the VIVE Sync product, the VIVE Campus product, VIVE Session, VIVE Social, and VIVE Museum, a collection of applications that will now be able to service all of your needs across your daily lives, something that will help make you more productive, help you learn better, help you be able to connect better with your friends and family, and enjoy art and culture in a very, very different way. This is something that will allow you to have the productivity that you deserve while being apart from your colleagues. This is something that will allow you to go and enjoy all of those events that you've been missing because of the pandemic, but still feel like you've actually gone somewhere and done something special. And of course, you can use it anywhere, anytime, and using any device, because we want to make sure that this software suite is something that everybody can have access to. There's no reason that somebody can't use it because they don't have the right brand of product or because they don't have the money to afford the latest device of something. We want this to be a democratized technology. And of course, we want it to be open so that anybody can access it. We want it to be easy so that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to be able to operate and engage with these kind of applications. And it has to be secure because your data and your information is part of this, and we want to make sure that you maintain your privacy. And of course, globally, anybody in the world should be able to use this and interact with anybody else in the world. Across a great device, using any device. They can be in a virtual 3D space together and have that shared experience that we've been telling you guys about. And of course, all of this is being brought to you not just by VIVE alone, but by our core software partners, Verbella, Engage, Vrchat, and MOR. They are some of the core technology that's helping power this software. And, we couldn't do it without their help. So, thank you, our partners, and thank you all for, taking time to look into this product or this product suite. So the key features that we've added to the suite that wasn't before available in these independent apps is now you have one single account that can now access every single app. You just sign on one time and automatically you are able to click and jump into any of these apps without re-entering your passcode, without creating a new account. You have full interactivity no matter what device you're using, so that if you're on the road and you need to join an event or a meeting, it does not stop you, right? So you can still feel like you're in a 3D environment even though you're on your phone. The servers have been deployed and optimized around the world so that whether you're in China or London or New York, they can all work together and they can all be very stable and work very, very fast. Now, easily connect is something that we feel like is a really important factor. One of the things that I think has kept VR from becoming as successful as it could be is that it is still a little bit complicated, and it in the past it's required a little bit of technology understanding for users to get through some of these hurdles. We want to make that easier. We want to be able to allow people to send an email to somebody and have them click on it and be able to go directly into a virtual space. And we want people to also be able to individualize and show their own identity, to be able to customize avatars to their liking, with their fashion, with the style that they want to express. And of course, we want all these apps to feel consistent, so that you don't have to learn a lot of different ways of interacting. So we've been working with all these app providers to try to help to unify the user experiences and user interfaces. It's not all the way there, but we're going to keep working at it and keep making it easier for everybody. And for a lot of the large companies who want to deploy these kind of solutions, they have requirements that are just not being met by the standalone applications. And we want to make sure that it is super secure. We want to make sure that it is easily manageable across a wide region, across multiple users. And those are the kind of tools that we are making. Some of it is deployed now, some of it is going to be coming in the near future. And going back to the point of openness and platform agnostic, we are very different than some of the other vendors out there who are creating software or solutions that only work on their hardware. Whether you're using a VIVE device or an Oculus device or a Windows MR device, you can use it, right? Whether you are using a phone or a tablet or a PC, you can use our product. And so no matter what brand it is, no matter what type of device, they all will interact with each other. And I think that is the hybrid type of work model that is going to be the more consistent way of how we will be interacting as humans with each other. We will all want to be in a 3D world, but we don't always have the luxury of being next to a VR device or an XR device. But we don't want to make people excluded from interacting just because they don't have one of these VR devices next to them. So this is a table of the apps and which of the platforms they support. As you can see, we've done worked very hard to try to make as many of these different devices compatible as possible. We haven't got the whole chart filled in yet, but it is our target. It is our goal that as over time, that every single one of these apps will be able to run on all of the different options on the left. And I think that is something that will make this technology take off, is when people know that no matter what device they have in their pocket or in their hand or on their lap or in their head, they will be able to interact with their friends and family and colleagues around the world. So how does it look? So I wanted to, I asked my team to create a little screen capture from each of these different platforms and to share what it looks like. So we're showing kind of the same scene, no matter you're wearing an AIO, an all-in-one device, a PCVR device, a PC or a Mac or a mobile device. You actually have the ability to move around in that space, in that 3D space, and be able to find the angle that you want. And if you're in a VR device, you're fully immersive, right? You actually will feel like you're there. You will react as if you were there. That is something that is very difficult to do on a video-only experience. And sometimes, you can also not listen to what's going on and go and do side chats during these events. There's virtual meetings, so that you can have that one-to-one conversation even when you're in a group of hundreds or thousands. So we talked earlier about making it easy, right? So here's a little video our sync team made for me yesterday. And what it shows is how much work it takes to create a virtual meeting invitation in Outlook. So if you look, essentially you put in the person you want to send to, you put in the name of the meeting, and you click on the Outlook plugin, and boom, you've got a virtual meeting set up. That user on the other side just needs to be able to get that email, click on it, and be able to use their device, whatever they choose, to go into this meeting. So it's really as simple as getting and starting and creating a video meeting. So on the other side, I wanted to show you something, how easy it is for a user to be able to access an invitation. So here's one of our teammates, Julian, who received an email saying, asking her to join another colleague in the VR world. It has a little link in it. She opens the email, clicks on the link. It opens up the Vive social application, and within seconds, she is in there with her friends, and they're chatting and they're talking and they're doing backflips. And discovering a virtual environment together, right? Now, this is the type of ease of use that we want to have in VR, so that it can be as easy as starting a video chat or a video meeting. Now, there are some things that I think are in VR that are not possible in video meetings. So for one thing, it's haptics. So we've just added the haptics capabilities into our sync product. So now when you get next to somebody and you squeeze your controller, you will actually get a vibration that makes you feel like you've had a handshake. I think that's one of the things that I missed the most in the first few months of the pandemic, in terms of being able to have that connection, the closeness with the people I work with, whether it's our colleagues or our partners, not being able to shake their hands, to be able to give them high fives. Those are the kind of things that we will bring back and give to the users, whether it's in Engage or our Vive Sessions product, our Vive Sync product, or Vive Social product. They already all have haptics built into it, so that you can maintain that interaction, whether it's high fives or hugs or just basic handshakes. And also the ability to have that separate chat I talked about. When you're in a conference, you go there to really have those those side coffee chats. That's the thing that you look forward to the most. And that's possible in a VR event, which is very difficult to do in a video conference type of a conference, a large conference scenario. So before I go any further, I wanted to invite our Creative Labs head, Drew Bamford. He's been with the company 14 years and pretty much responsible for all of the amazing looking phones and devices and software that's come out of this company. And he wants to share a little bit about what he's been doing and what he's been thinking about how we integrate these apps together and how we're going to create future interactions that will make your life easier and funner and more exciting. So welcome, Drew. Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Thank you for the warm introduction, Alvin. It's really great to be here. It's really an amazing space. Super excited about this launch. And I'm here. I'm Drew Bamford from Creative Labs at HTC. I'm here to talk a little bit about the design thinking and the design goals behind this suite of integrated collaboration apps. So you can see here our office in San Francisco that we've used historically to collaborate on design projects. But really, we've always been something of a distributed team, if you will. So we've been working across 3 global locations in Seattle, San Francisco, and Taipei. But things have changed dramatically for us recently, as they have for many of us. And now we're really working as a fully distributed workforce across the globe. And what we've found as we've shifted to this new way of working is that there's a dramatic loss of context to the type of work we're able to connect, we're able to share files over video chats, through Teams, etc. But we really don't have the kind of casual interactions that foster creativity, that enable serendipity, etc. And so I really like this quote from Chris Marsh, who's a researcher studying remote and distributed work, about how this massive shift towards mass remote working is just a huge loss of context around work. And it's that context of being in a shared space with other people, of happening across people in the lunchroom, at the water cooler, and really cross-pollinating the kinds of ideas that lead to new innovation. So with this launch of XR Suite, we're hoping to also address some of the other challenges of remote work. One of those is working from home, WFH. This is what we're all doing these days. And unfortunately, most of us are unable to work in a beautiful space like this that you might recognize from Big Lebowski. This is an iconic piece of modernism in LA, but most of us are in small spaces, poorly optimized spaces for working. So with this launch, we're also looking to replace your everyday environment with something more inspiring, something more beautiful. So XR Suite, as you know by now, is a collection of 5 apps. And what we've done is take the best of breed of each type of collaboration and social app and integrate them in a way that makes them feel seamless and consistent across the applications. So our design goals have been to primarily eliminate the barriers that prevent people from getting into a collaboration session. We all know that getting into a VR session traditionally is really quite challenging compared to something like a video chat. You've got to start up your headset, you've got to adjust all your environment to accommodate VR, et cetera. So there are physical barriers, but what we wanted to do was address the digital barriers to collaboration. And one of the key barriers is logging into multiple apps and services so that you can access your collaboration environment. So a unified login is one of the key features that we're introducing in XR Suite. Another thing we wanted to do was make people feel comfortable, people feel inspired and excited about the space in which they're working. So we've created new Vive branded environments across each of the apps that we think are appropriate to the kinds of activities you'll do in each app. And we hope that you'll feel that the space is consistent and inspiring throughout. So I wanted to share next a quick video that shows some of these key improvements and optimizations we've done across the suite. So we think of the XR suite as a first step along a long journey toward a new future in which we're able to completely replace, or in many cases, completely replace work in a shared physical space. And we're working in the lab on concepts and prototypes to explore how we can make this new future a richer type of interaction for people. So a few of the things that we're working on that we think are super exciting are a spatial workspace, for example, that not only allows you to collaborate in VR, but allows you to do all of your work in a space that can also enable collaboration. So you're taking advantage of a 3D environment to actually perform your work as well as collaborate. We also think it will be important to be able to seamlessly transition from a fully virtual space like this one to a mixed reality or augmented reality space in which you're bringing in elements of your physical environment to make your work practices more seamless, more natural in your physical space. And finally, we think there are many more we can do to break down the barriers to engaging with other people in virtual spaces and enabling remote collaboration. So we've created a short video that shows some of the things we're currently working on that we're super excited to bring to the market in the near future. I'll talk through some of the things that are happening in this video as they happen. So here we have a physical environment. One of our designers enters her studio, puts on her headset, and immediately her physical environment is augmented with digital content. So you see her very large desktop, really as big a monitor as she wants. There are some widgets that allow her to control her entertainment, her music, see her calendar for the coming week in a very tactile, physical way. She can bring up digital 2D content and then instantiate it in 3D, so it becomes almost physical in the environment. And then, of course, because it's digital, she can create an exploded view at will, see the new headset that she's working on. She has really almost physical versions of her collaborators in a small widget that allows her to invite people into her space. And then she can explore the CMF product, and when they're done making some decisions, she can transfer that finished project into a collaboration, almost like a virtual war room space that allows the rest of the team to access it. So just a small vignette of what the future might be like. And really, what we hope is that in the very near future, we'll be able to move XR Suite in this direction of a fully immersive, seamless transition of the virtuality continuum, breaking down more of the barriers to collaboration. And we think possibly in the time frame in which you may see a headset, such as the one that was featured in the video, you'll be doing these sorts of things in your own virtual work life. So Super excited about the launch today. Thanks for the invitation. It's great to be here. Can't wait to see your feedback on XR Suite in the very near future. Alvin, I'll pass it back to you to close out the proceedings. Thank you.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, Drew, for that amazing talk and for those cool videos. I think we all wish we had an office that worked as efficiently as fun as that. So why don't we get to the next part, which I think I'm really looking forward to, which is some thoughts and sharing from our XR Suite software partners. We, as I said earlier, we could not have done this XR Suite by ourselves. It is because of the hard work of our partners over the last 4, 5, 6 years that they've built these solutions. And now we've integrated them together. We've optimized them. We've added extra security. We've added extra integration of UX and of the single sign-on capabilities that are making it more powerful. But I wanted to hear in their words how they thought the last few months have gone and where they want to go with this.
Hi, I'm David Sapienza. I lead ViveSync. We are really happy to help power Vive XR Suite. Over the last 4 months, we've worked with the XR Suite team to integrate and improve the product in a number of ways. For example, a single sign-on. You will no longer have to log into every app individually. You just log in once, and then you can go across all apps seamlessly. ViveSync is already being used by a number of customers across various industries, and the feedback thus far has been overwhelmingly positive. We are super excited to be part of the Vive XR Suite. Together, we're enabling what's next.
Hello, my name is David Whelan, and I'm the CEO of VR Education and the team behind the Engage platform. I'm delighted to be working with HTC and making Engage an offering on the XR Suite. Over the past few months, we've been working very, very hard to improve the software, and it's been used extensively for events with great organizations such as the United Nations, the European Commission, and X Prize, all using Engage to great effect. Again, we are so happy and proud to be working with HTC on the XR Suite, and together we are making the future possible.
Hello, I'm Alex Howland, co-founder and president of Virbela. We're extremely excited to partner with HTC to power the Vive XR Suite. Over the last few months, we've worked with HTC to integrate the campus into the Vive XR Suite to provide a best-in-class product. Vive Campus, powered by Virbela, will revolutionize the way the VR world operates, providing a safe place for people to come together to learn, work, and attend events from anywhere in the world. The new features and capabilities in Vive Campus will improve the user experience by allowing users to share presentations and multimedia content, meet in a variety of spaces from auditoriums or boardrooms, and interact and collaborate with others as you would in person. Virbela is already being used around the world for business, events, and education. Universities such as the Stanford Graduate School of Business and Engage Business School in Mexico are creating their own virtual learning experiences on the platform. In the event space, Bordeaux Geek Fest, iLearn, and Laval Virtual have all turned to Virbela to host large-scale industry events. Companies are turning to Virbela to build their own virtual campuses and office spaces to bring their teams together and create a sense of community, including eXp Realty, one of the largest real estate brokerages in the United States and growing internationally. We are thrilled to be part of the Vive XR Suite and provide a collaborative virtual environment for users around the world to come together. Together, we're enabling what's next.
Hi, I'm Graham Gaylor, co-founder and CEO of Vrchat. Today, we're excited to announce that we're partnering with HTC to bring the power and flexibility of the Vrchat platform to an even wider audience. As one of the apps in the Vive XR Suite, XR Suite customers will be able to leverage VRChat's powerful creation tools and application through our partnership with VIVE. We look forward to working with HTC and others to bring on the next normal in virtual technology.
My name is Robin Stetham. I am the CEO of the Museum of Other Realities, also known as the MORE. Over the last couple of years, we have worked closely with HTC to produce a virtual reality museum experience that is unlike anything else in the world. Everyone at the Museum of Other Realities is very excited to have been selected to take part in the VIVE XR suite of enterprise apps. This suite is going to empower organizations globally to produce and display content in ways we can't even begin to imagine yet. The Museum of Other Realities is going to produce tooling which will allow organizations everywhere to show and have their viewers experience content in the same way that we do in the museum. We will give people what they need to blow their audiences away. We are very much looking forward to working on these tools and empowering creators to realize the next normal together with HTC in the coming years.
Well, hey, thanks everybody. Thanks to our friends from the various app providers. I think there's one thing that I probably have not told you guys yet, because I know, you guys are probably waiting for, is, this is such a great application. What is it going to cost? I didn't want to tell you too early, because I think, you really need to understand all the value that it provides before I actually told you what it costs. But I can tell you right now that it is quite affordable considering all the things that you are getting. So for 120 RMB a month, or $30 a month in the West, or for a yearly subscription, you can get 1,088 RMB or $250. You can get access to all of the professional versions of these apps. There's going to be free light apps for people who want to try, who just want to attend activities, attend meetings. But if you want to conduct your own meetings, if you want to create environments, and you want to have large businesses share, then you'll want to get the pro version. We also will have multi-seat enterprise licenses, which you can contact us to get more information on. So please go to our website below, and you can get all the details about how to purchase and how to try the VIVE XR suite. So, wanted to also thank all of our various industry and channel partners out there. One piece of information I wanted to share is that all of our Wave partners have signed on to supporting the XR suite, and we'll make it compatible with all of the Wave partners like Pico, like iQIYI, that are also partnered with Qualcomm. Nrio, one of the AR devices, will also be looking forward to creating a version of an XR suite that will be compatible with their devices. Baidu and HP have announced at our June event that they will be supporting us, and the HP devices will be preloading with our application soon, and NVIDIA will be promoting it to their channels to help all of the customers who already have these high-end devices, high-end PCs, be able to leverage the power of the XR suite. And then we have Jingdong Cloud, who will be who's one of the biggest e-commerce companies in the world, and one of the largest cloud providers as well in China, will also be distributing the XR suite on their cloud store and sending customers our way. And I'm also very proud to announce that Accenture will be a worldwide distribution and system integration partner for the XR suite, to be able to integrate the XR suite with all of their various XR related customers and solutions to create real value added solutions that are going to be on a global basis. Our partners VST, who is one of the largest enterprise software distribution companies in China, will also be distributing the XR suite to their customer base, as well as Activation, who is one of the largest events agencies in China, will continue to work with us to hold premium quality events using the XR suite. And then BCW, one of the global leaders in PR and solution consulting, will also be applying the XR suite to solving their clients' problems. So, we are so proud and so happy to have such a tremendous list of partners to support us on day one of our launch. And we look forward to working with all of them to serving our customer base and your customer base over the coming years. So, Vive has really been spending the last 5-6 years building an ecosystem. We're not just a hardware company, and we're not just a content store. We also have an arts program. We have an events, premium events solutions business unit. We have our XR Suite software business unit. We have our own Vive studios that are continuing to churn out new content. We have our investment arm, ViveX, that has been invested in over 110 companies around the world, and our Vive Wave program, which is working with all the leading all-in-one and mobile VR solution providers out there, device providers out there, to enable them with the technology that can get them to go to market faster and with higher quality. So, we really value getting the entire industry to elevate, to be able to help them help this industry go faster, create faster adoption, help tomorrow come faster. So, you're very lucky to be the first group of people to be able to experience the Vive Session product. And today we've created this amazing venue for you. Please do spend some time and during the breaks and during the social time to explore a little bit. As I mentioned to you earlier, these pods are very, very special pods. They are not just, they're not as small as they look when you look at them from the outside. If you walk inside, there will actually be an entire teleported space where you go into each of the applications, and we'll have a service staff from all these companies and our representatives in there to answer questions for you about each of the apps. So, please do take time to do a little discovery. So on finishing, I think we spent a lot of time talking about the productivity aspects of our product, but I really want us to kind of take a step back and really say, hey, you know what? Technology is not just about work. It's also really a way to enable us to have a better life, to have more peace, to be able to be anywhere and be able to be productive, so that we have time for ourselves. And I really hope the XR Suite can be used to augment and expand your life beyond work, and providing a new level of satisfaction and a new normal and a next normal that is better than anything that you've experienced so far. So, welcome and thank you to coming to our event. Thank you for all of our partners who are participating, to all of the customers and clients and loyal users around the world who have been supporting the Vive brand and our Vive products and software and services over the last 5 years. And we really hope you continue to pursue and support us over the coming years. So thanks again, and enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.
Thank you all for your speech. Now let's invite Hugo Swart, Vice President and General Manager of Qualcomm XR Technologies, to share his insight on mobile XR. Welcome, Hugo.
Hello everyone, my name is Hugo Swart and I run the XR business at Qualcomm Technologies. Thank you so much for having me at this event together with HTC VIVE. The world is changing, and I'm here to talk with you about how Qualcomm Technologies sees as what is next with XR, 5G, and AI and the ecosystem. The digital transformation has begun, and reality is changing. With the arrival of 5G, we're moving towards a new world where virtually everyone and everything is connected. And XR is the next mobile platform. We're going to soon be using glasses for hands-free, immersive and interactive communications and content consumption anytime, anywhere. In this new world, we are engaging in a shift from how we interact with 2D computers and screens in the past, and bringing the real world and the digital world together in a much more significant way than ever before. In the new world of spatial compute, the screen as we know it today disappears, and the world becomes our desktop. In a very intuitive way, it brings just the right information to us at the right time, at the right location, with augmented reality type experiences. But still, also giving us the option to place ourselves in a fully virtualized environment to make reality whatever we want it to be, all the way to virtual reality experiences. So, how is it going to happen? XR is on a journey and evolving in parallel with two additional technology trends, AI and 5G. 5G with the fiber-like speeds and extremely low latencies, and AI driving many of the world perception algorithms needed for spatial computing. These three together, XR, 5G, and AI, are going to be a catalyst to a change in how we interact with the world. First, in the consumer space, it is changing gaming, entertainment, travel, shopping, communication. In the enterprise, we're seeing changes in the way they do 3D designs, patient rehabilitation, employee training, and field services across multiple industries. XR, combined with the advancements in 5G and AI, will drive this new spatial computing. And putting XR, AI, and 5G together, we announced last December our new purpose-built XR2 for premium tier XR devices, the first XR platform to support 5G. Qualcomm Technologies continues to invest in products that will help grow the XR ecosystem, while pushing it with even more functionality and the next levels of consumer immersion. The Snapdragon XR2 platform provides better performance across the board than our previous premium platforms used in XR devices. It has 2 times better CPU and GPU performance, coupled with 6 times better display resolution support, meaning devices will provide better, crisper, and richer graphics when using a device powered by Snapdragon XR2. And in addition, it has plenty of AI and computer vision capacity for the novel perception algorithms to take the user experience to the next level. What else is there to say? Then, last February, we announced our new reference design, done together with Gortec. It includes support for 5G, both sub-6 GHz and millimeter wave, 7 camera support, and ready for OEMs to focus on form factors and software companies to create new features. The reference design enables significant improvements in time to commercialization, as well as the ability for the industry to scale. This reference design is one we work closely with HTC VIVE Wave to enable multiple devices combining the strengths of Snapdragon XR2 with the vibrant content available through the VIVE ecosystem. You can expect many devices launching, including in China, between this year and first half of next year. I hope you can now see that the transformation to spatial computing is already well on its way. Qualcomm Technologies started investing in XR early. It has been over a decade. And the result of our long-standing commitment to XR is that today, Snapdragon mobile platform powers the top XR platforms and we have launched over 30 commercial devices, many of them enabled with the VIVE Wave ecosystem. Now, I also wanted to address a next form factor for XR. We call them XR viewers. XR viewers are lightweight, small accessories to 5G smartphones and enable similar user experiences to the standalone all-in-one devices. There is enormous interest in the industry across smartphone OEMs, viewer OEMs, and mobile operators. Both standalone all-in-one headsets, as well as viewers connected to 5G phones, will enable a number of applications. A couple I want to highlight are productivity and collaboration apps. XR will enable the next wave of efficiency gains in various industries. I'm happy to see the commercialization of the VIVE XR suite driving us in that direction. Congratulations to HTC on the launch of the VIVE XR suite, enabling the software offering on various of our customer partners like Pico, iQIYI, Shadow Creator, and Nreal. We believe that if the ecosystem around XR grows, so will the adoption of XR devices. So we will continue to work closely with companies across the XR ecosystem, including component manufacturers, OEMs, ODMs, software solution providers, and enterprise customers. Now, as you can see, we have a close collaboration with HTC VIVE. Of course, first in hardware with HTC as a customer, where we are working together in XR1 and XR2 based devices. Then, second on content ecosystem. Earlier this year, we announced a collaboration to take VIVE Wave not only to standalone VR headsets, but also to VR viewers. I'm looking forward to devices getting commercialized using the technology that Qualcomm provides with the innovation HTC VIVE brings on the content ecosystem. And now, third, HTC with their service offering available to multiple hardware OEMs with the XR suite. It will take continued advancements in technology from the entire XR industry to get us to a world where spatial computing is the next mobile platform that everyone uses in their daily lives. AR and VR are a very exciting place to be working on right now, and I'm looking forward to continue working with HTC and the China ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you, Hugo, for your speech. Dear guests, today's virtual event is over. Thank you very much for all the guests who accompany us in the XR world. Thank you all partners for taking the time to attend. I wish VIVE XR Suite to give you an open, efficient, and powerful tool so that everyone can still pursue their dreams and live a happy life in the post-normal. Our online production room is open. Please come and experience our XR Suite virtual application package as soon as possible. Thank you all. Goodbye.